Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Exercise Mechanic. Today, we are joined by Jacob Hamel, aka Mr. Jake, aka Baby J, aka the man from Montreal. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
Dude, it's a pleasure. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. And before we started recording, we had this really nice conversation about all different things pertaining to business and training and mindset, and because it's definitely been one heck of a year. However, that being said, you've managed to, over the course of the last 11 months or so, essentially scale your business by over 200%, all while, at least from my perspective, remaining cool, calm, and collected. Which, based off of our last conversation, you mentioned that you went through a period of time where you're really struggling with some anxiety, and I had a whole host of questions planned, but I would love to maybe dive in there first, because I think it really highlights aspects of our humanity that, even in high performers, in which I'd lump you in that category, high performers still sometimes struggle and sometimes push up against boundaries. So I was hoping that you could start there and just tell me kind of like what happened there, and more importantly, how did you deal with what you were going through?
Yeah, so just to put in context, first, English is my second language, so I'll try my best to work my way through the podcast. Yeah, so to give some context, last year I had 3 employees. My girlfriend always worked in the trenches with me, but she had another job, so I had 3 full-time employees and her that was like part-time.
Mm-hmm.
And as of today, I have 10 employees, like 8 full-times and 2 part-times, and my girlfriend is one of the full-time one. So it's been a lot of growth this year, but it's been a lot of roller coasters and emotional roller coasters, and emotional adaptation also, because like when you grow, you have to become like change your identity. So to have more not more but different skill set, and increase some skills that you need to increase. So one of the things last year was like I did an exercise at the beginning of the year, and I told myself, like, in 10 years, what kind of person do I want to become, do I need to become to achieve my dreams, my goal, like my dream, my goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of skills and things that I need to become. So I rated my skills on a scale of 10. So I was like, leadership, I need to be a 10, 10 on 10. Stress management, I need to be a 10 on 10. And then I did like right now where I'm at. And then leadership was like, man, I think I'm like a 5 on 10 for my team. So one of the things that I need to scale up on my skills, it's my leadership skills. How do I lead people to do what I want them to do, that it's also good for them? So how do I lead a team? How do I structure a team? How do I structure a business that's going through a growth phase? So I was always the one doing like training, nutrition, and everything. And for the past 2-3 years, I switched for more like the more of the owner of the company. And since last year, I did a mental switch that I need to become only the owner. So I delegate pretty much all of my clients. I have like 5 or 6 clients left that has been with me. Like one of the girl that's with me, she's been with me for the past 9 years. So like we have a good relationship. I don't gotta, and it's like 5 or 6 hours in the month. So it's not, and
Right.
I love doing that. So like one of the thing I was like,
And is that, real quick, sorry, is that figure prep?
no, not, it's just like clients who wants to have results, and
Okay.
like, yeah, not competition or anything. And I don't want to do that again. Like,
Okay.
it's like so much stress, bring someone to a stage, and like, fuck. I know, sorry, I
It's
cursed
all
on you.
good, man. Yeah. Fuck, 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 fuck. We're good. Yeah. Keep going.
And yeah, so it's so much pressure and stress on me. Like one of my things that I didn't like prepping people, and I prep like maybe 50 to 60 people to make the stage. It's like I'm so much stress that they're gonna come sharp, and when they're not satisfied, man, it's so much crush me. So that's
Hmm.
one of the things that I don't want to do. But to come back to my story, like yeah, so I delegate a lot, and I just like put the pedal to the pedal to the metal, and just like uh, scale my business this year. I was like, I want to do X number, I want to reach X goal, and I want to do it that year. And when the COVID hits, I think like some people's react differently, but like one of the things that I one of the skill set, or one of the thing that helped me a lot is I think I got a really high pain threshold. Like I can
Yeah.
tolerate a lot of pain, but one like I have my limit also. But like when it happened, I was like, fuck that. It's not gonna crush everything I built for the last 10 years. I worked
Right.
so hard for that.
Right.
So that was my reaction. So I was like on the like each morning I was wake up like I was like I was waking up like super
Right
fast
away.
at like
Yeah.
5:30, 6 o'clock, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to work. And like I was doing like big hour, and like doing everything to like keep the boat from not sinking.
Right.
And I like before I was alone, it was not so much pressure, because I was like, if I 1 month I want to like slow down, just affect me. But
Yeah.
right now is affecting like my coaches and my girlfriend and everything around me. So I was like, fuck that, I need to like do a lot of things. So
And
but
if I may, if I just want to jump in, just to provide context, because I know your story, and I know your story. But for everyone else that doesn't know you, Jake is a facility owner in Blainville, and so when COVID happened and the amount of interpersonal stuff that we could do, essentially got taken away from us, Jake still had like substantial rent fees that needed to be paid for this pretty much brand new facility because it had only been open, I think, for under a year.
yeah, we opened November 2019. So
Yeah,
yeah.
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 It's like what? How many months is that? That's less than 6 months,
Yeah.
right? So less than 6 months, tons of like really great state of the art equipment from Prime and Nautilus. Like you weren't messing around, and you didn't spare no expense when it came to outfitting your facility. And then over the course of a month, essentially, it all gets taken away. And you had to transition your business substantially. So I just wanted to provide that context
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
Keep going.
One of the things that help us a lot, uh, we can call it luck, but I don't think it's luck. But I was really onto like internet marketing and like provide the value on social media and everything for the past 5 years. So I already did like online coaching with some of our clients. We have clients in Europe, we have clients in the north of Quebec, and
Right.
so we were like already a little bit COVID proof with our structure. So we like the first time the first thing we just upgrade this the kind of training we did. But like yeah, there's a lot of people who've come train. We're a 100 private gym, so we don't have membership, but like we have a lot of people that come to train one-on-one, and
Yeah.
they come for the gym, the coach, everything. And then you said to them, we're gonna do it on Zoom, but not everyone want to do it on Zoom. So it's a big transition. But like I love marketing, I love systems, I love like doing all kind of stuff, I love doing content. So I was just doubling down on that. So I was lucky to have all these skills already. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that helped us a lot.
Yeah.
But so I did so much stuff, and so much I put so much pressure on myself to like one of the first thing I said is was like there's no way I'm firing anyone. So there's no way I'm gonna cut back on my pay, I'm gonna cut back, I'm gonna sell something, but there's no way, because that's what a good leader will do. That's what uh, the leader will take all the shot for their team. So that was a thing. I was like, this is a mental game that I need to provide them with the 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 croyance,
The belief.
the belief that
Yeah.
I'm there for them no matter what. Like shit's gonna hit the fan, but I'm gonna be there for them. So, and at that time, I just hired two more employees
Yeah.
before the COVID hit. So I was like, fuck, man. But I was like, no way. So I'm not gonna fire them. I just like there's been like 3 weeks that we're doing some coaching with them to like introduce them, and like they were already ready to take clients, and then that shit hit. So yeah, that was a lot of pressure, and then like we grow. I did like I invest in some coaching with like one of the top guy in the United States who had like 600 gym.
Bedros?
Yeah, Bedros. Yeah,
I've seen you share about that in your
yeah,
story. That's very
yeah.
cool.
It was crazy money. Like it's really really expensive. Like it's the biggest amount of money that I invest in like even my equipment at my gym is not is like pretty much the same. So it's
Wow.
really.
Okay.
And like I was not talking to anyone for the price except like one or two people and my girlfriend.
No doubt.
But even she know me. She was like, I trust you, but fuck, this is big. I was like, I know it's gonna help me because I was like, where do I go from now? I have so much ideas and I
Yeah, of
need
course, of
to
course.
react fast. So yeah, so that's one of the things that really helped me this year. Like more clarity of vision. I have my vision, but like what's the step, the micro step? That's one of the things that I struggle with. Like I have this big dream, this big vision and mission with quantum training and everything around that. And like what's my first step, my next step, my and it really helped me a lot during that time. So yeah, and one of the things that I struggle is I have struggled to like uh, click the switch off like on work and everything related to that. So I'm always on, and I really need to take vacation off. So one of the like in the past 5 years, I travel a lot because like that's the only way that I really truly shut off of work.
Yeah.
I take my backpack and I go like just no cell phones around the world, and I love it.
Yeah.
But this year I cannot make it like everyone else. So but that's not the problem. The problem is I wasn't able to shut it off. So that's one thing of this year that really I really had struggle with it. So I was always on all the year, and then one time I take 1 week of vacation. I stay home, and I was like, I'm going to train at my gym. And then during the summer, the gym was open. I go there. I start talking to people. There's some problem. I was still working,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, for sure. You
so.
didn't have that disconnect like you did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? That's one of the things that I like. I look at it back. I was like, this year I really need to like take a vacation. And yeah, and like in September and October, the gym. So the gym opened in July. So we had a big like bunch of clients that want to have like private coaching, private training, one-on-one in the gym. So
Mhm.
it's really spike in July, and then in October it closed again. I know it was coming, but like when they announced it, I was like, fuck, that's like it's
Yeah.
another like punch in the gut. Oh, I was ready for
Or
the
a little
punch.
bit or a little bit lower.
Yeah. I was ready for it, but yeah, I was like, there was a little voice in my head that was like, oh no, they're not gonna close it again. So,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
and then like it hit me harder on my mental state because I was like, fuck, man, I like when this is gonna stop because I'm fighting a lion for the past 6 7 months, and man, I'm getting tired of that.
Of
So
course.
yeah, and in November and December, I was like, I did some like I have some. I know I need to manage better my stress. I do some things to help me that. I'm not a stress guy, but like it it's accumulating
Yeah. Yeah. There's that
sometimes,
cumulative. Yeah.
and yeah, and like in November, I did two anxiety attack. One like I just like had trouble like breathing, and so this was the first time that happened like this. And then I did a couple of a small one, and then one time I did a really big one, and I was like, fuck, man, like this is not how I want to live my life. It's good to grow the business, it's good to grow everything, but like fuck, man, I'm
At what
losing.
expense?
Yeah, at what expense for me, for like
Yeah, of course.
for my wife, for everyone around me. So I'm not the leader I need to be, because I'm always on the edge, and someone said something to me and I snap, and like I snap a lot on my girlfriend during that time, and she has her own thing also. So like I need to be the one who can absorb if someone else is not feeling the
Right.
top notch. Like my team and my friends and my girlfriend, I want to be that guy that can always be there for others. So that's one of the things that I love about what I do, is like I help people. So I wasn't in the mental state to help people at that time, and I was like, okay, so it's not going great. We had a lot of stuff also that we sell our house, and we had a couple of
Yeah.
other stuff, and I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
man, I don't
Everything is
have,
in the air.
yeah, I don't have the mental like capacity to deal all that right now. So and it's because it's all my responsibility, that like I did not take time for me during that year. I just like crush it. And I know that like one of the last year, I when we could travel. I traveled 3 weeks in Europe. I closed my phone, and we did at that time the biggest month we ever did. I was not there, so I was like,
Oh, that's
man,
amazing.
that's really cool, because like I remember in 2015 I read the 4 hour work week from Tim Ferriss, and I was like, man, I love this stuff. I want to do passive income. I want to create systems that if I want to work, I can work, but if I want to travel, I can travel. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and last year I was like, I knew that everything could work without me, but I was like just so much in like, no, and you're not gonna take that from me. So I was always on, and I didn't want to like s- step back from the business. And one of the quote that someone said to me in a couple of months ago, it's get out of your own way. So that's one of the things last year. I think we could grow more if I get out of the way, because I was
Yeah.
micromanaging so much stuff, and I was trying to just push in different direction to make this work. But like one of the things I always tell my wife is, I'm head in the wall. I try to push the wall when there's a door just next to me, and
Yes.
I'm losing energy to push on that wall. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
the moment that I let go a little bit, I'm just like, there's the doors, and I'm gonna walk through the door, and I'm gonna go there. So that's really a thing that I struggle with it with that last year. And yeah, and one of the things that I in December I was like, I had struggle, and I didn't want my team to see that. I didn't want other people to see that, but it was it was hard. Not the big thing, but like some of the someday I was like, fuck, man, like fuck all this. I'm gonna sell everything. Fuck that. Like I'm done.
Really?
I'm done. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's and after I said that, and 15 minutes later, I'm not. No. There's just that to remind me that okay, so maybe I did some action or something that is not in line with my true value, and I
Yeah.
just need to rectify the and do some action. So there's a couple things that like I need to have difficult conversation with some people that I love. I need to last year I fired my first person that I ever fired, and I needed to do that, but I was like, oh no, it's okay for now, it's okay for now, and I was not doing the hard stuff
Yes.
because I don't like that stuff.
Of course.
So yeah, and like to delegate my clients, I don't like that stuff. I don't like to disappoint people, but there was so much thing that I need to do to get some free air in my
Yeah.
mouth. And
Yeah.
and I'm still working on that. So I have um just yesterday I write like what the thing that I need to let go. So still working on that. But yeah, one of the things that really helped me during that time is just um, to find like some old hobbies that I wasn't doing anymore,
Mm.
some new hobbies. We had we have a new dog since it's been 2 months, I think. So I take walk with the dog. Some things that I was always pushing on the side to take walks and
Yeah.
go outside. And so I incorporate a lot of things that, like, some people will listen to that was like, that's obvious, you need to do those things, but like for me,
Yeah.
it's always a struggle. I played guitar for 6 years when I was young, so this year I restarted a couple of months ago. So I
Beautiful.
tried to do like more thing, and take more time with my girlfriend with cell phone off. One of the things that helped me this year is I delete all my social media from my cell phone. So I when I need it, I just download it back, I use it, and
Yeah.
then I delete it.
Yeah.
So increase my productivity. So yeah, that's my my last year story. And
Cool. Oh, I really appreciate you sharing that. And we were talking about this a little bit before we went live, in that I've always held you to a very high regard, because I'm someone who I've learned over the last few years that is more emotional than I would say the majority of my male peers. It's definitely a strength of mine in so many different ways. And I feel like that gives me an opportunity to connect with people uh, at a level that might be deeper than that which is common. But on the flip side, my emotional nature has an Achilles heel to it. And you've seen me struggle a lot, like over the last 2 years or 3 years that we've known each other, 4 years, 10 years. I'm not sure. Um, and, um, and so, like seeing someone such as yourself that I hold at a high regard when it comes to your capacity to stay even keel and stable. It was really interesting to me to hear that you also had some of these struggles and how you navigated them. And I find that um, the way that you navigated the last, let's say, 6 months or so, with the added lockdowns and navigating feelings of anxiety and stuff like that, is actually really, it's almost identical to what I did about a month ago. Because about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, I had hit a new low of anxiety myself, in that I started to dissociate, where I was at my parents' house. I remember I was sitting on their couch and I was looking at my mom, and it was like, I'm not looking at you right now. Like, I'm looking at you with my eyes, like you're in my field of vision, but I could feel myself putting up a wall and compartmentalizing from my environment. And um, to make a really long story short, during that time, I had started reading a book on psychedelic assisted psychotherapy, which is I think it's an incredibly fascinating field of research that's gaining traction. And one of the things that they talk about is they talk about pursuing things that create feelings of awe, or things that just pique your curiosity, joy for joy's sake, not necessarily using things as a means to an end. And that what that does at the neural level is it actually dampens areas associated with anxiety and depression. And and so, faced with that information, I was like, well, what fascinates me? And I'm like, well, I mean, reading about neuroscience fascinates me. And so I started just carving out, quite literally, about an hour and a half of time to read every day. And it's hard for me to put into words the depth that has been, like, it's been so profoundly beneficial for my mind, like profoundly. And because it kind of got me out of like the ruts of my habitual behavior that was really focused on business and how do I protect me and protect my business and my loved ones and stuff like that, faced with COVID. and and so, as much as what we've done is different, there seems to be an overarching theme of essentially facing the things that are challenging, number one, right? So it seems like avoiding things that you knew you had to do but that you weren't doing was actually causing you more stress than
Mhm.
facing it head on. And to quote Ryan Holiday, the obstacle is the way. So I find that's interesting. but then also like slowing down and carving out time for other things that you enjoy seems to have been really beneficial for you. And I'm happy to hear that you're doing better, because as someone who struggled with anxiety a lot, it's definitely not a fun thing to feel like you're losing control in that sense.
Yeah, and I read something like a few months ago that really stayed with me. The guy said it's not about you doing a lot. It's about you doing not enough of what you love, and that's what it struck me. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, that's the problem, because I always work 12 hours a day. I have no problem to work 7 days a week. I have no problem to like go all in every project that I do. But right now was like, fuck, I'm doing like a little bit more than I used to, but in the past I've done way worse than that. But
Yeah.
like I'm feeling so much crush right now. It's because I don't do some things that I like. So that's why I incorporate some stuff that like seems like pretty small, but have a big impact on me. And yeah, that's and one of the things that helped me. It's like I love the saying, action alleviate anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you don't do the things that that need to be done, that puts so much stress on you. So like procrastination is one of the things that lead the most to anxiety. And like when I didn't feel well, I needed to have, like, for me was hard conversation with some of the people,
Yeah.
and hard decision that I didn't want to make, and taking responsibility of a thing that I let go, and I leave some of the people with it. I like I know, like one of the things that I didn't do well this year is like I put so much thing on one of my team member, one of my key team member, and I was like all that, and like um, lead everyone with that, and I was not getting him the coaching that he needs. So that brings a lot of problem that I was addressing, but indirectly, because the problem was that I haven't coached that guy well enough. So yeah, so like before we start, like right now in our company, since like late December, it's like all about structure and how we can like be there one for another, and how we can coach one of the to everyone to be on the same level, on the same skill of leadership, on the same like key people that embrace their role 100%, and then I help them. So yeah, I think I love this saying, action alleviate anxiety, because you know deep down what you need to do. And
100%.
sometimes for some people it's just go train and go eat well, and don't be a little bitch about it and
Yeah.
just do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to do it. Yeah. I had the last guest on the podcast was Marissa Hammond, and she's a life coach, but she's very much she lumps herself into the category as a self-love coach. And the thing that's so interesting with self-love and doing behaviors that are loving, in particular in the long run for us, is that often self-love looks like work, and it's actually uncomfortable. And the opposite of self-love is avoidance in the vast majority of cases. So often it's like, I don't like this scares me. It might even be overwhelming, yet on the other yet going through it is actually a lesser discomfort, even though it might be immediate, which is why we avoid it. Going through it is actually a lesser discomfort than being controlled by this thing and being um, smothered by it, and carrying the weight of that thing for an extended period of time. Um, yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And I'm curious, because obviously, so you're the founder and chief visionary officer, so to speak, as Simon Sinek would say, of Quantum Training. You have a branch of your business called Quantum Academy. You do a lot of coaching for entrepreneurs as well, and I definitely want to make sure that we touch on that, because more and more and more and more people are going self-employed as of late because they need to. So I think there's some things that we could flesh out there. But I'm curious, because you do so much teaching, in particular to trainers, whether they be yours within under the quantum training umbrella or in a mentorship format. When it comes to new trainers specifically, maybe let's start there. When it comes to new trainers that are coming in your door and working for you, what are the first few things that you would teach them? Not solely from a business perspective, but maybe even like skills on the floor, or even like the interpersonal dynamics of the personal training role. Where do
Yeah.
you start typically?
Yeah, the first thing, like when they come to our place, we have a strong culture in our company. It's really it's pressure, it's hard work. It's like we value hard work, we value going 110%, because I'm like that and I want to create a culture like that. And it was funny because I hired two people in December, and one of them left because after 4 days, because she was like, I think it's a little bit too crazy for me. Like the hour I need to put it, I have a family, I'm not comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
And made me realize, I think maybe I put too much pressure on everyone. So that was a learning that I have. But so the first thing, we talk about the mission, the vision, and the culture. So what's my mes attentes? What's my
Expectations.
what's my expectations on their side, and what is their expectation at work with us. And then we always start with like how to behave with the clients. Like in RTS, you said you need to 3,600 seconds with the clients, so
Right.
that's one of the main thing that we use. No cell phone in the fucking gym. So that's what of our reglement, of our
Rules.
rules. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I got you.
So all about the rule. And the first thing is how you behave with the clients, and then after we go and mechanics, biomechanics stuff, exercise mechanics, programmation, and everything. But like the first thing they need to go, it's through our values, our mission, our vision, and make sure that it's aligned with where they want to go. Because if not, I prefer like the girl that left after 4 days. I was like, thank you,
Yeah.
because
Of course.
like you're honest with me, and I appreciate that. And it made me realize we need to make sure like employees come and the structure is good, and there's not too much pressure, because I can take a lot, but maybe some guys don't take a lot. And we seem like in the past few months and few weeks, it's not just me that like burn the candle at the candle at the both end.
Yeah.
Like some of the guys were like, I think we need to slow down a little bit. So it's one of my challenge, but I don't know if it answer your question.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I mean, I think it's great. You know, starting from the perspective of just making sure that like, hey, like this boat or this bus is going in this direction. It's going towards that destination. Is that a destination that you want? And making sure that there's congruence in that fact. And you brought to light essentially that you're a workhorse. You know that you're a workhorse. You like working a lot. You have a high pain tolerance. And that not everyone is like that. As a leader, how do you balance? Because I know this is kind of tricky, because it's like, just because someone has a current tolerance of X, of a certain amount of work or whatever it may be, that doesn't mean that that's always going to be where they always are. And coddling and and not pushing them might actually be doing them a disservice. But then sometimes we need to be able to have the wisdom and the presence of mind to pull back and to take pressure off of people. And so as a leader in your business, how do you navigate that? Like um essentially like navigating this like fine line between, I'm going to challenge these people but not burning them out. Like
Yeah.
what runs through your mind with that?
To be 100% honest with you, I don't think I'm good with that. So I
Okay.
need to work on that, because like I just realized it a couple months ago that I was like, fuck, I think I put a lot of pressure on these guys. And one of the things that I really want to I start to do is like just like have a conversation with these guys, like, how do you feel? And like sometimes they go, feel great. Yeah, you sure? You Everything is great. well, there's this one thing that like, and have deeper conversation. That's one of the thing. And also I'm truly blessed with my team. Like they're incredible humans and incredible leaders. My key players, everyone like, and I have two key players. One is more on the sales stuff, and one is more on the training stuff. And
Okay.
and both of these guys have their strength and the weakness, but one is more emotional and one is more rational, uh, and they both give me feedback on how the team, because the sales guy is a go-getter, is really pushing everyone, and everyone tell him everything is great. And then when I ask them, and or the other guy who is more like emotional and more calm, and he asks them, they give me different answers. So we try to navigate that more communication, and like I try to have this culture where you can tell me everything. Like if there is a problem, I want to be there for them, and I want to them to know that, like, is there anything I can do to help you? What's your problem? And one of the things that I try to do a lot is ask them, is there anything I can do to help you have more time, have more being more efficient? And we talk a couple of week ago, we talked about, okay, maybe the agenda, l'horaire,
Schedule.
the schedule, the schedule. We can optimize something, because like one of the things that I know my pain threshold, because I reach it so many times, and I push it so many times, but I don't think it's a good thing to do for everyone. But I think like some people need to push to be pushed fucking hard, and like
Yeah.
you can do so much better than that. You can do so much more, but at the same time, it's like a dichotomy to realize that
Yeah.
sometimes in the morning I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm tired today, and then I'm like, fuck that, man, you can do it, and
Yeah.
I crush a day. But sometimes I'm like, I'm tired, and then at 10 o'clock I'm fucking tired, and then at 1 o'clock I'm
I'm
fucking
still,
tired.
I'm still tired.
So that's when I know. So yeah, it's hard, man. And I need to increase my skills on that this year, because I don't want
Yeah.
to my team to burn out. That's the worst thing that can happen. And one of the talk that I had with one guy is like, I'm ready to lose clients, but I'm not ready to lose you. So if you have to ship clients to another trainer on our team, do it. Like, I don't fucking care. I just need you to be a 100% you, because I know the 100% you is valuable for the company, and we need that 100%. And yeah, so like, I'm ready to lose some of my clients that I delegate, because I'm like, right now it can bring out the revenue down, but in 3 months it will be so much worth it, because I will have more time, I will have more energy to do my zone of genius. That's one of the things that I always focus on, like, what's my zone of genius, and like I want 95% of my time on my 5% of zone of genius.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes me think. So, like, I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek's work, and he talks a lot about how in a business and in a company there needs to be a general leaning of 51-49 towards valuing people over valuing profits.
Yeah.
And when it comes to valuing people, the resource that you are managing there is will and like energy and their the capacity for your people to care. And it really feels like a very dynamic process. You know, it's the more that I look at it, like leading other, it's hard enough to lead ourselves. You know,
Yeah, but
and
it's the first thing. The first thing is lead yourself. You cannot
yeah,
lead others. And like one of the thing that kills company, I think, or a small company or startup, or like, people don't lead themselves. They stay up late. They don't train. They're drinking. They don't lead themselves as an athlete. Like, I'm playing for the Super Bowl. Like, none of these guys messing around. They're
right.
doing the hard work, and they might have the genetic, but Super Bowl's coming and you're playing in it, and you need to be treat yourself like an athlete. And sometimes it's not easy to do that, and sometimes you have like some weeks I don't train, and I don't follow my schedule to the point, but like if you do it 80% of your year, 100%, like you will have amazing results. So yeah,
Yeah.
sorry for that.
Yeah. No, that's okay. That's okay. And I think it's huge. I completely agree with you that like self-leadership is the fundamental um requirement for strong for our capacity to lead others. Our capacity to lead others, I think, is happens in proportion to our self-awareness, because we need to be able to pay attention, and we need to be able to admit when we're getting things wrong too. There's a certain amount of like, it requires our capacity to be humble. And yeah, man, no, I think that's great. And I think your team is really happy, very, very lucky to have you within the work that you do. Um, so when I think of you, I think of someone who definitely values lifelong learning. I know in your old office at in Blainville, and then your new one in Saint Jérôme, when you walk in, the first thing you see is 1 to 2 bookshelves full of books, and it's not just like you buy them and you put them there as placeholders and decorations. You've read all of them, and some of them you've read more than once. And so when it comes to for instance, like the type of books that you read in 2020, are there any books in particular that stand out that have made a really tremendous impact in your life?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, why don't we start there? What are perhaps your top 4 or your top 5?
Yeah, the first one that made a big impact, not my favorite one, but the one that made the most impact is Traction. It's a system by EOS, and it's a structured thing. It's more like a course than a book. So there's a lot of thing
Okay.
on the structure of the business, on meetings, on and yeah, I implement a lot of thing in our company, and I need to implement more of that. But it was really a game changer on the vision side, on the structure side, on where should I put my time, where should I put someone in this position. Yeah, it really, yeah, I love Traction. I give it to a lot of people who try to build their team. It's really, really important. Your Next Five Move by Patrick Bate David, like there's so much value in this book. Like this guy, I don't know if you know him from Value Entertainment on YouTube. Like he got like 2.2 million follower. But like the knowledge he put in his video, like I'm not why isn't behind a paid wall. I paid some course that was not good as this, and in
Right.
his book, it's like over deliver all over again about all the things that he learned. He read like a madman. I think he read 2 books per weeks on business, on leadership, on like he's a crazy guy. I love him, and yeah, your Next Five Moves is like you need to think like an amateur on like the premise of the book is like you're a chess player, an amateur play one move at a time, and a grandmaster play one move, and you think about the 25 move that one move gonna make. So you need to think 25 moves ahead. So
Yeah.
what's my next thing? Like the title, your next 5 move. What's your next 5 move?
Yeah.
Not like I'm going to lunch at the like in 2 hours. Like what are like okay, we launch a marketing thing right now. We have a like if we take us with example, we have like a challenge, 30-day challenge to bring some people to a low ticket offer. But what's next? What's the next move? What's my next move till June? What am I ready for the gym to open? What will I do when the gym open? What will I do if the gym don't open? So it made me realize I need to think long shot, a couple of move ahead. So that was a
Right.
really good thing. And yeah, I read Profit First. It was a good book, so I'll manage money. So that
Hmm.
that right now I just finished. I'm gonna take it. Like Copywriting Secret by Jim Edwards from the guy you work with Russell Brunson for ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've been spammed to buy that book. I don't know how many
Man,
times. I've been
like
targeted like crazy.
I take so much notes. Like I like this is what I do when I love a book. I have like Like this is my favorite notes, like right there, and all my notes from that book, because like selling is all about words, and when you sell online, you need to know how to write, you need to know how to cap attention and keep it, and like play in the emotional feeling of the people to buy. So yeah, like I said, I love marketing and I love this stuff. So yeah, sales page and everything, how you craft your message in the world, how you I like to give the example that everyone loves vanilla ice cream. Like
Mhm.
it's always like a 7 or 8 on 10.
Yeah.
But if I ask you what's your favorite ice cream,
Oh, you want me to tell you?
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, it's Ben and Jerry's, dairy free, and it's a peanut butter one. Actually, no, Ben and Jerry's dairy free, Netflix and chilled.
Oh,
Incredible. Yes,
and how much do you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
perfect blend, salty, sweet. It's perfect.
so if I ask each time that I ask you, do you want vanilla or do you want that kind of ice cream? You will tell me I'm gonna, and even if it's you pay it more. If it's higher price, you're gonna buy it because
Of
you
course
love
I'm
it.
paying. Of course I'm paying. It's
Yeah,
Ben and
it's
Jerry's.
yeah, it's a 10 on 10. So, but that's yeah, your message and your content and your company need to be that Ben and Jerry, not the vanilla. That it's okay, but so like crafting your copy and everything has to do
Yeah.
to like make your post, your sales page, everything you do, like a podcast and everything you do more Ben and Jerry,
Yeah.
like Netflix and chill kind of
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I want my company to be like Netflix and chill, but yes to the ice cream. Um, yeah, yeah. I find at least for me, when it comes to business, business has been the arena in which it has led to the greatest personal development for me.
Mhm.
I've found that my ability to do things outward with my business happens in proportion to the degree to which I knew myself and know myself and the depth of my self-assuredness, or like the depth of my roots, is what dictates my capacity to go outwards. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah. More and more, I realize that it's just a mental game.
Yeah.
It's only a mental game. Like the more you have self confidence, the more you have self belief, the more you use like more of the belief that propel you forward,
Propels
that
you. Yep. Yep.
propels you, like, and you just work on your fear, you work on your belief that it's not good. Like if you think that money is evil, what good does it bring you? It doesn't bring you anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think that money brings the best of you, and money can help you help people, and money will make your life and others people life better, that's a good belief to have, and that's a propelling belief,
Propelling. Yeah.
propelling. And you need to work on that and your fear. Like some of people that I coach in business coaching, that they say I'm afraid to do something. Like, man, I'm afraid every fucking day I wake up,
Yeah.
because like everything that I built can take didn't take from me, but that drive me, and I smash that fear. I work through it. Like one of the thing that one of my fear and the thing that slow me down is uh, I'm transitioning in more of a business consultant and doing mastermind for business and everything, because
Right.
I want to help people and I want to help like Quebec fitness in general. So I, to do that, people need to, like, one of my goals is help everyone in Quebec be in shape. But I cannot do that alone, and cannot do that with my team. Like some people don't like what we do, and it's okay. But I need other people to help these people to
Yep.
make Quebec a healthier place. In it. So
The fittest province in Canada.
yeah, yeah, that's a good one. And so I need other trainers to, because we, like, I don't see anyone my competition, because our competition is like fast food and Netflix, and like
Yes. Totally.
think that it's not the other trainers, like there's not there's not enough trainers in Canada. So we need more trainers, and we need more trainers that have clients and build team and have an impact and have good trainers also. So
Yeah.
that's one of my main mission, like personal, to like make every trainer better trainer and then better at business. Because if they help like 50, 100 people, 200 people, like we're closer to the ultimate mission. I know we're never gonna reach it.
Yeah.
Like in Simon Sinek Infinite Game, it's
Yeah.
in an infinite game. It's not, we're never gonna win. But
Yeah.
if we can change, like,
It's a meaningful pursuit, though.
yeah. So where was I going with
Sorry,
that?
I didn't mean to interrupt you with that. But no,
uh,
so as a business coach, then, because we were talking about how
yeah,
essentially
fear.
our capacity to do things outside of us is going to be ultimately can only happen in proportion to the depth of your self assuredness. When it comes to cultivating and creating and working on self confidence, how do you coach people through that? And um, let's start with that. I had another question, but I'm curious. Yeah, self
Yeah.
confidence.
I think that self-confidence, I'm not the kind of coach that you will hire to boost your confidence or boost your, like, I'm not like a PNL, an NLP guy, or I know stuff about that and I talk about it, but I'm more like I'm gonna show you what to do that, and it's gonna work. Like, follow what I tell you. But
Yeah.
we run in fear, and we run in belief, and we run in all kind of stuff that
Yeah.
people. But the thing that I teach is like self confidence, self worth, everything comes with small wins, and small wins come from action, and you
Yes.
need to, like, if you want the analogy I tell is like, first time you rode a bike, did you fall? Yeah, maybe, or you were not that
I
great.
can't even remember.
No, but the first time you skate, the first time you ride, you were not good. And what's the thing that got you where you are now as riding a bike or riding or everything is you practice it. So someone who is scared to speak in camera, and he's like, I'm not good. Like, it's okay to not be good, and it's okay to be afraid, and it's okay that you don't like it, but you're not liking it because you're not good at it. But what do you need to do to become good at it?
Yep.
Just fucking practice.
Yep.
And small, like, sometimes, like, one of the thing that some people struggle is with the camera, and I'm like, just write like 3 tips to help with your sleep, and then just read that 3 tips. Like, it will be a clip of 15 seconds. So, hey guys, here Etienne, and I'm gonna tell you 3 tips for your sleep. First thing, stay away from your phone. Second things, blah blah blah. Third thing, then have a good day. If you have question, email me, and that's it. And that's a small win. It's
Yeah.
not, if you, the first time you try to do a 1 hour podcast, man, you're gonna hate it, because it's a lot of stuff that you need, or try to do a big video that you're explaining mechanic stuff and everything. Just try, like, small step is going to build self-confidence, and people are going to say, Kim, that's good, that's a good video. I did your thing, and your tips, and it really helped me, and oh, I can help people. And one of the things that I like to say is, like, if you don't put content out there, you're selfish. Why? Because you're the solution to a lot of people problems, and if you don't offer them the solution, they're not gonna have that solution. And maybe there's a guy that's 35 years old, really not happy with his physique, and maybe cry at looking him in the mirror, and maybe he's really not good with himself, and he have a self-confidence issue because, like, he's not in shape, and his girlfriend just left, and everything's going really bad for him. And you could be the one that changes life with one video, or 2 video, or one
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
And maybe I like to put things in extreme. Maybe he's gonna suicide himself because he's so not good with himself. And you could be the one that changes life, but you don't do it because you're afraid. You're afraid of the camera. So like, that's one of the things that I like to say, because I feel that one. I feel like that, and I feel like the business coaching was not a thing that I wanted to do in the future, but I was saying, like, I need to have more success, and, like, maybe when I will be like 40, I will do that. But
Yeah.
I was feeling so selfish that people, like, I was just posting one thing, and people were like, oh man, that changed a lot of stuff in my business. I was like, oh fuck, man, I'm selfish if I'm not helping people on this side of their stuff, because it can really change his life. One of my guy, he reached me. He's 37 years old, a guy from France, and he was like, "You're my last chance because like if that, I'm going back to my if my business don't work this year, I'm going back to my old job. I'm going back to the thing that I don't love to do. I love doing coaching, but man, I cannot meet my goal. I cannot provide for my family. I cannot." And
Yeah.
like that's the kind of guy I love to work with because he's so much all in and he have incredible results. Like he closed, I think, 12 clients in January, and like he had like 10 clients the last year. And just in January, we acquired like a lot of clients.
Beautiful.
So yeah, but like to think, I think we're thinking so much so much of the time selfish and we thinking about us. But I one of the things that helped me a lot past my go past my fear and my stress and anxiety and everything is think like I could be the one who changed a lot of people's life. I can be the solution for a lot of people
Yeah.
pain and fear and everything. So it's my responsibility to make a change for the time that I'm here, because like we're just here for really
Very short
small,
period of
yeah,
time.
very short period of time, and you want to yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I need to feel is I make an impact on people's lives. And why make an impact on 15 people when I can make an impact on 50,000 people, and why not more?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, I find service is such an incredible antidote to fear. Shifting the perspective from me, right, taking care of me, surviving, to a focus outside of ourselves as to how we can serve people. Um, yeah, is definitely a big thing. And it's interesting that you mentioned even just like why not 50,000, why not 5 million. Why not for me has actually been, it's so interesting you bring that up. Why not has been like the mantra that's helped me a lot, specifically over the last 3 months. Because we can always find ample reasons for any narrative that you ask. And as like our bias being self-preservation and stay alive at all costs, it actually makes a lot of sense to look for the negative and to look for reasons why we should not do things. It actually makes evolutionary sense to do that. Yet what that does is it essentially like it makes you smaller. Like it decreases your impact. In contrast to if you're looking to do remarkable things, however you define that, if you're looking to get out there and do things, you cannot allow yourself to be constricted or hindered by those imaginary walls that we put up. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So listen, man, I want to move into a slightly different portion of today's podcast, and we're going to go to some rapid fire questions.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I've got 5 here, and then we're going to finish with a final question right at the end. So the first is for you. Business is blank.
Liberty. That's the first thing that come to mind.
Liberty.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, great. What's
And fucking hard work.
and awkward.
And hard work.
Hard work. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. What's something that people often get wrong about you?
That's a good question. Man. That I'm that's a good question. I never asked myself that. I think that I'm one of the things is like I'm an extrovert. Like I get um people anxiety around like a lot of people. Like I don't feel well in a big group. And
Really? Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that.
like
Yeah,
one of the time I go
because you do a
to
lot of teaching, my friend.
yeah, but it's like it's really weird because like when I know that people know me, like I will like talk to 2,000 people. I don't care. Yeah, I'm stressed, but like it's a good stress, and I teach and like yeah. If I know people are there to listen to me, I'm will be all fire. But like one time I did go to a 5 to 7 like I don't know. We call it a 5 à
Or it's
7.
like I
It's like
said, like a networking kind of
yeah,
thing.
networking kind. And man, I was so anxious and so stressed, and like I really have struggled with that. And
Mm.
sometimes like people come to me. It happens like when we could see each other in a group of people. Like I was walking, and he's like, "Hey, you're Jacob from Quantum Training." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm super like not good with that." Um, yeah, and I just joined a mastermind that like it's for entrepreneurs, um and we need to talk in front of like other entrepreneurs. And like it's not that they have like really good business. Mostly them are startups or two years in, and like but like I had it yesterday, and I was like shaking before I was talking, and I really I struggle with that. So that's one of the thing. I think people think of me as a big extrovert, but like I love being at home and do like my thing on the computer and like I have a small circle of friends, and
Yeah.
like yeah, I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked up on that. What are some of the what's the biggest mistake that you find new business owners make?
Oh, not because not becoming better at sales. Like sales is everything.
Hmm.
You need to sell everything, everyone. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be good at selling, because like one of the things that people really struggle is they have leads and then they don't close them. So they close like each time someone said I'm gonna think about it, they say okay, just call me back, and then you lose the lead. And then they try to buy Facebook traffic, and they try to buy to do some funnels and everything. But the first thing you need to master is selling, and not in a cheesy way, not in like just
Yeah.
be the solution for the people.
Yep.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
think if I know it was a rapid question, but like
It's okay. It's
one
okay.
of the thing that's really struck me when I teach for entrepreneurs, is like they're so much passionate about what they do that they like 95% of the sales like when they talk to people on the phone to close them, it's about their product and how they do periodization and programmation and mechanic, and like that need to be 2% of your sales.
Yeah.
You need to ask question like, why do you want to get in shape? What's important for you? What are you doing right now that's not working, and where do you see yourself? And have them like visualization visualize, like
Yeah.
get their head like I'm gonna feel, I'm gonna see myself, I'm gonna hear people tell thing about me when I'm gonna reach my goal. And it's all about that. And then you said my coaching is everything you need because it will bring you this result, and it's important to you because that you like nobody trained to be in better shape. Everybody's trained to have more self-esteem, be
Yeah.
better in the skins. Like
No doubt.
there's deeper things. It's not about losing 10 pounds. It's never about losing 10 pounds. It's never about getting 10 pounds. It's all
Yeah.
about inside. And you need to know that about the calories, because at the end, when she tell you, I'm going to think about it. Well, why? What do you want to think about it? And I love the question that you ask. Okay, is it because let me ask you a question. Is it the service that you need? Yes. Am I the person you want to work with? Yes. And can you afford it? And if they tell you no, I can't afford it. Okay, is it because you're just a little bit nervous about me making that expense, or it's not like you cannot do it? And it's often I'm nervous about doing that thing. And it's all about like money is never a problem. It's people uh, put their money like everywhere. Like
Yeah.
people are not good with their money, and if they're not gonna invest it with you, they're gonna throw it
Invest. Yeah.
in Starbucks, in like, oh, I need a new shirt, I need a new thing, you don't need anything. Like once you have shelter and food, you don't need anything. All the other stuff is emotional buying, and you
We
ration,
rationalize it. Yeah.
rationalize it after.
Yeah.
Like you cannot be a rationalized buyer. You're always making emotional decisions. So if you talk on a sales call and you think all about your features and rational stuff, people are buying emotional. You need to tap into emotional, and
Yep.
then they're gonna rationalize it by like, yeah, it's a really good thing for me, I need that. But
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need a new car. I don't need a new car. I bought myself a standing desk. I'm really happy to have buy it, but I don't need it. Like, I can work on my other desk, or like,
Yeah.
we buy emotional stuff and we rationalize. I'm like, yeah, I have more energy when I talk, but like, it was an emotional buy and I'm happy
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sales,
And I'm
man.
rationalizing it. Like, I am choosing to
Yeah,
rationalize this emotional decision.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
always that. And like, sales is so much important. And I just finished a couple of weeks ago the book Ready, Aim, Fire. And sometimes I tell people that and they say, no, but it's Ready, Fire, Aim. Ready, Aim, Fire. And the name of the book is Ready, Fire, Aim.
Okay.
And the concept is like, you need to fire and then
Guide the
uh,
missile after, kind of thing.
yeah, because like, if you overthink every decision you're gonna make, you're never gonna make that move. So action, and like, figure the rest out later. But
Yeah.
in this book he said, like, to 0 to 1 million in revenue per year, your main focus is sales. Like, the only thing you need about it sells your product, and after that, but you can create new revenue streams. Or I think it's a little bit excessive in 1 million, but like 0 to 500,000 per year, you need to focus only on sales, and then after that, you need also to crush it on sales. So that's the biggest mistakes, not being good at sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know it's rapid fire, but I want to piggyback off of that because this ties in perfectly to everything that I stand for with what I'm pursuing with my education and what I share with new trainers is that, like, as an industry, we focus a lot on systems. We focus a lot on some of the external things, like you're talking about periodization and exercise selection, all those whatever. But let's talk about the human. Let's talk about the human bias. Let's talk about our very predictable emotional, like, irrationality, and how does that system work? How does that influence your decision making? How does that impact your sales? How does that impact your clinical decisions? How does that impact the language you use in your body language? And, like, you know what I mean? And understanding these things is such a massive component when it comes to having masterful interactions with other human beings, so that you can help them get what they want. So I love that you brought that up.
It's also like the thing that, like, the first thing is be good at coaching. Like, that's like, I don't even talk about it because like, it's so, like, you need to be a good coach. Like, that's the first thing. But
Mhm.
if you want to have your clients make changes, you need to sell them on that, on an idea, on a structure, on.
Yes.
So you always need to sell. Like, I like the saying of Grant Cardone: sell or be sold. It's you're selling or you're being sold something, and sometimes it's the belief of the clients that he cannot make it, and you say, oh yeah, I understand that.
They're selling you on that, right?
Yeah, they're selling you on his idea. It's your role and your responsibility to sell them on your idea, that he can be more, that he need to eat his chicken. And like, so sales is like the most important thing you need to work on.
Yeah, beautiful. What's a business myth that you'd like to crush right now, once and for all? What comes to mind?
That you can do everything by yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, I think like a small business owner, like small, I think like 50 employees and less, I consider it small business. And solo, one, like only one people, like, so, like, I put so much time, try to do everything myself, and it slowed me down so much. And I was not happy with everything, but I didn't want to delegate, and I wasn't, uh, yeah, I wasn't delegating, and j'avais pas assez confiance.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't have enough confidence.
yeah, in other people's. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing that really slow people down a lot.
Yeah.
And has slowed me.
Yeah, it's definitely, I find there's an element of like taking faith and investing and having trust, and then the result happens after and being like, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Have you found
And
that as well?
yeah. And if your employees don't, and your team member, I prefer the word team member, don't perform, it's your responsibility. Like, to coach them, to give them everything they need, or to fire them. Like,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to do those things. And maybe they're a good guy, they have like a lot of competence, but like it's not fitting with your culture and your company and where you want to go. And he wants to go there and you want to go that way. And it doesn't work, and it's your responsibility to fire that guy when it happens. And for the good of the group, for the good of the mission, like
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. And even when it comes to like for the good of that person, because sometimes people will
Yeah.
stay just out of fear. Maybe they don't want to hurt your feelings, but in reality, these people would be so much happier doing something else. I definitely pushed up against that when I was a manager of a Good Life in the west of the city. There were some people that were just like, the right thing to do, I think, would have been to let them go. And at the time, I was afraid to like hurt their feelings,
Mhm.
and they were fixed as well. But it's clear just based off of their actions and their demeanor that they weren't happy.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, and it's not for everyone to have a team, but you, if you don't want to, if you want to stay solo, it's okay, but you need to optimize everything and automatize, like
Automate. Yeah.
automate everything for you, because you cannot like there's a lot of things that you cannot do by yourself if you want to grow in scales. You need to have some system in place, and sometimes people don't like to work on that, but it's like a necessity if you want to grow.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Last question for you today, my friend. So, and then I actually, full disclosure, I stole this question from you, which is: there's a billboard, right? And you have an
Yeah.
opportunity to share a lesson with everyone. Everyone's going to drive by it. You get to put one lesson on a billboard. What would it be at this point in your life?
Um, I think like fuck fear, get shit done. Like
Okay.
yeah, and that will grab attention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
money follow attention. So
Yeah. And then put the
yeah,
quantum training logo just right beneath
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
email us. But
Yeah.
yeah, because like so much people are living in fear, and they don't make move because of fear. And like, what the worst that can happen? It's never that worse. Like one of the guy I was coaching yesterday was like, I was giving him an idea to reach to a person that has like 40,000 followers on Instagram, and he know him personally. And I was like, do a fucking live with him and bring an audience to your page, because you have 200 people on your page, and you need to boost that if you want to make like really good money with not, and that. And he was like, oh man, I'm so afraid, and I'm gonna do it later. And I was like, no man, do it right
Right
now,
now.
right now,
Yeah.
right to him right now. And he did it, and I was like, what the worst that can happen? And he's gonna say no. Okay, that's the worst thing. And what's the greatest thing that can happen? And I try to we talk about it, like what's the great thing. And the greater thing that can happen is they both become partner and open like an education platform, and they make millions of dollar with that, and they help millions of people. And I was like getting that big thing, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
this is not probably not gonna happen, but that's the best case scenario. But the worst case scenario is no.
Yeah.
So what's all the fear? Like there's like you
Yeah,
can
for sure.
gain so much more. And when you do that, like the greatest thing that can happen, and you amplify that and you live it, and you're like, wow man, that could be awesome. And
Yeah.
you're like, the worst thing is a no, or is a I'm gonna stay where I'm at, or is I'm gonna go back to my mother basement. Is it
Mhm.
that bad? Like for like 6 months, maybe you're gonna rent a smaller apartment. Like fuck fear and get shit done.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Very cool, man. Well, dude, I know you're a busy man, so I do want to respect your time. You've got so many unique opportunities available to various people. And so I would love for you to plug and to share with us what are you doing with quantum training? How can people work with your team? How can people work with you in a mentorship capacity when they're looking to grow their business, etc.?
Yeah. So quantum training everywhere. We have a podcast, quantum podcast. It's in French. I got a couple of English interview. Got you 2 times on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, quantumtraining.ca. We got the academy there. all of our thing. We put a shitload of content on social media, also
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, and everything. And if you want to reach me personally, it's Jacob Hamel __ on Instagram. I put a lot of content, and I just opened a Facebook page yesterday for like more business stuff. It's in French, but like, uh,
Beautiful.
yeah. So
Yeah, it's
that's
very
about it.
accessible. And I think you have a second podcast called Dumbbells and Domination. Is that what
Yeah,
it's called? Yeah.
yeah. Also, yeah, it's
Yeah.
more of a business side,
Yeah.
like yeah, because I didn't want to talk about it and like for clients that like how to make
How to make
100.
more money. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Of course. Of course.
And I have a couple of interview for that's planned, and yeah, I started that. I think I got 15 episode out right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
dumbbell and domination.
Perfect. So Dumbbell and Domination, as well as the Quantum Podcast. You've got the Quantum Academy for trainers that want to go on like a 52-week immersion about exercise mechanics and nutrition and psychology and anatomy. And yeah, so you've got that. You've got mentorship opportunities so that when people want to work with you to scale their businesses, they can do that as well.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for all the work that you're doing, man. I truly, it's hard for me to put into words the impact you've had in my life, and also just how highly I think of you. I'm really excited to see you continuing to crush things
Thanks, man.
in the near future and long future.
You helped me a lot also with the exercise mechanics around the year, and I learned a ton of you, and I really appreciate our relationship.
Yeah, likewise, my friend. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for listening, everyone, to the Exercise Mechanic Podcast. I will talk to you all next time. Bye for now.